Alrighty, and welcome back to some more Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. First and foremost, I know that we do have a lot of shit to kind of already start getting into, but I hope you all are having a good day, evening, whatever time it is. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and again, I hope you all are enjoying watching me play Danganronpa half as much as I am enjoying making these videos, because man, have I gotten really invested into this game, into the story, into the characters, and I love it. You know me, I gotta talk for a little bit before I start. Just to kind of review everything. Yashihiro said we were gonna have kids by the same woman. I know that there's a lot more than that, but that's just what I'm gonna leave it at, because all jokes aside, someone was in the rec room. I think there was something going on with the rec room, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Makoto! Kyoko! Hina, what's wrong? Something's not right! In the rec room! What's inside? There was a window in the rec room and I heard to look inside, and when I did... Sakura? Is she unconscious? She's sitting up in the chair like she's bowing her head.
Hey.
What's going on? Did something happen to her?
Huh?
I was just walking past and I happened to notice her through the window, but I couldn't get the door open. I tried knocking, I tried calling her name, but she wouldn't respond. So what should we do? What are we gonna do?
Anyway.
First of all, we need to get into that room. But the door is locked, right? If we break in, we'll be violating school regulations. We're going to force our way in. I just said the door isn't locked. It's not locked because the rec room door doesn't have a lock. Huh? Then why? It feels like the door is pressing up against something inside the room. Is it the chair? Chair?
In other words.
Either way, this door isn't locked, which means, as far as I can tell, the rule doesn't apply. Then there's no problem if we break in. Let's smash the window. That should be the fastest way. Okay, I'll go get something to break it with. Wait right here. Damn, what's going on, dude? Inside the rec room, Sakura still hadn't moved an inch. She's just unconscious, right? Is she okay? I mean, it's Sakura, so I'm sure. Kyoko didn't reply. There was only silence, but that silence didn't last long. Here! I found a broom! In the classroom! Use it!
Makoto.
You can handle this, right, Makoto?
Please.
Come on, please, hurry! Okay, you two, stand back! I took hold of the broom and swung it as hard as I could, aiming directly at the window. All it took was one solid hit. The window shattered into 100 pieces, scattering across the rec room floor. I stuck my hand through the new open window and started jostling the chair leaning against the door. The chair is pretty heavy, but if I can just... I pushed on it with all my strength, and finally the knob turned. Sakura! I ran up to her as fast as I could, but the moment I laid my hand on her... No way! Bruh. All I felt was cold death. Damn, bro. All I could feel was I could only feel the last lingering warmth of a living body. Life had abandoned Sakura's body, and then... Damn, dude.
A body has been discovered.
Oh my god.
After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
There it is.
Danganronpa.
Danganronpa. There it is, man. Huh?
Sakura's dead? She's really dead?
I heard Hina talking, but my eyes stared steadily forward. I could only look on at Sakura's dead body. Damn, bro. We didn't make it in time. It's happened again. Muttering to herself, Kyoko began to gently inspect Sakura's body. I wondered, was she confirming that Sakura was really dead? Checking for a pulse or a reaction? I have to go get them. I have to go get the others. On shaky legs, Hina left the rec room, and Why? Why? Did this have to happen? That's all I could say. I repeated it over and over again. I need to examine Sakura's body. I just stood there motionless behind her while she checked Sakura's corpse. Time passed. While I stood there unable to do a thing, time just passed. And after I don't know how long, I got everyone. Ogre?
Yes.
Oh, so she's dead, huh?
I see.
Sakura's been killed? I see. As soon as they arrived, Kyoko
Just
began.
a second.
You heard the announcement just now, right? So you know what this means. Sakura was murdered, and by someone in this very room. Is that what you're going to say? No. Whoever killed her, it's not just someone in this room. It's one of you! Hiro Byakuya Toko! One of you killed Sakura! What? You're accusing us before we even begun the investigation? I don't need to investigate anything, because you hated her. You hated the sight of her. One of you did it, I know it. You know it? Jeez, I didn't know your power level would increase that much just by getting mad.
What the heck?
What are you doing here?
Come on.
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to hand out my little murder flyer. That's right, it's the next Monokuma file. And don't get so mad, Miss Asahina, or you're gonna ruin that lewd little face of yours. Now then, with that, hold on. There's something I want to ask you. Huh? It was you, wasn't it? You killed Sakura. Uh-huh. Sakura wanted to challenge the mastermind to a duel. Maybe you fought her again, and then I killed her? Sorry, not quite. Actually, not even close. The whole thing is totally irrelevant now. Sakura came to a most regrettable end without even getting the chance to finish things with me. Which, thank God for that. It saved me the trouble of having to go through a little fight. Because even for someone like me, it would have been no mean feat to take down a behemoth like that. I gotta tell you, I was actually pretty worried. I mean, she violated a rule by attacking me in the first place, but I wasn't able to punish her. So, I don't know who it was, but whoever the black end is this time, I owe you one.
What is this?
You owe them one? Oopsie, before you get all pissy potty at me, you better figure out who did it first. Cause I mean, your lives are all on the line, right?
What is this?
What the hell? He owes them one. I hate him. I hate this whole thing. Well, I, for one, am glad it was Sakura. She was working for the mastermind after all. How could you say something like that now? Sorry, I don't have time for your squabbling. The next game has already begun. If you want to be angry at someone, be angry at whoever killed Sakura.
Anyway.
Right now, our top priority needs to be uncovering Sakura's killer. If we can't do that, we're all dead. Then let's decide who will stand guard this time. I'll do it. Hina, I'm okay. Just let me handle it. Besides, I want to be here with Sakura.
That's fine.
Okay then. Hina is guard number one, but we need one more. Kyoko, that's you.
What?
Me? You're always a thorn in my side. This time, just stand by and watch quietly. Consider that an order. In order?
That's fine.
Fine, I'll stay behind. Then it's settled. Let's begin, shall we? Hold on! Before that, there's something I want to say. Which is? Hiro, Byakuya, Toko, none of you are allowed to step foot in the crime scene. What?
It's your fault.
One of you killed Sakura. I won't let someone like that come anywhere near her. Don't be stupid. Our lives are in just as much danger as yours. We have every right to investigate. I don't care what you say. I'm not letting the one who killed Sakura anywhere near her. Even if it means I have to use force, you're not getting in here. Well, it appears further discussion would be a waste of time. How about a compromise?
All clear now.
I won't ask you to let all of us in. Just let me. What? You don't really care, do you? You're both useless anyway. Nope, don't really care. I'd rather spend my time coming up with another splendid fantasy involving Master anyway. Hey, you, Hiro? Do you really object? If you're gonna go that far, what can I do? I mean, I don't have anything to hide, so why should I care?
It's all clear now.
Then it's decided. Nothing's decided.
Calm down.
I know how you feel, Hina, but you should agree to his request. But
Hey,
we have to find out who killed Sakura.
correct.
For those of us still alive and to honor Sakura's memory, Fine, I guess that's okay. But no matter what, Byakuya, you absolutely aren't allowed to touch her. Naturally. Who would want to touch a filthy dead body?
Listen.
That's enough fighting. We need to focus on the investigation from here on out. Everyone, keep this in mind. If we can't uncover Sakura's killer,
Listen to me.
all of us face execution. Finding out who killed Sakura. It's not a matter of hoping we can do it. If we want to survive, we have to do it. It's a kind of hopeless hope. We have no choice but to just do it. Damn, man. Here's my music, though. I better check the Monokuma file before anything else. The victim was Sakura Ogami. The time of death is estimated to be around 12 noon. The body was discovered in the rec room on the 3rd floor of the school. There's evidence of a strong blow to the victim's head. No other injuries were noted. However, it seems that at some point the victim suffered from violent vomiting of blood. Damn. Monokuma file number 4 has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
Hey.
I think the case this time might be a challenge.
So
The only way into the rec room is the door we just came through. And that door had been jammed shut with the chair from inside the rec room, which means the killer would have had to escape somehow after barring the door. So if the door was blocked from the inside and there's no way in or out till we broke the window, there's like zero escape, right? In other words, this is a classic locked room murder. Locked room murder? I guess you might see this kind of thing a lot in mystery movies or books or whatever, but could it really happen in real life? And right before our very eyes like this?
Hey.
Are you curious to hear about what a locked room murder entails? Sure, if you don't
That's
mind.
fine.
When you break down this kind of murder mystery, there are 4 basic types. The first type is when the locked room is created after the actual crime is committed. This simply means that the killer commits his crime, then through some special method seals the room. This mainly involves some sort of trick involving the locking of the room. Basic approaches include using a string or simple mechanisms. There are a number of variations. So for that, all we'd have to do is check the door to see if that's what it was, right?
Correct.
The second type is when the locked rooms already exist before the crime is committed. Oh?
in other words,
Basically, the killer uses a special contraption or tool from outside to target the victim inside. You push a switch and it fires a handgun. You shoot an arrow through a gap in the door or something like that.
however,
But in this case, that doesn't seem to fit. There are no guns or arrows in the school, and the door doesn't have any gap that would allow it. Yeah, I think we can probably list that one off the list.
it's true.
The third type is when the killer stays in the room until it's opened up. What do you mean by
In
that?
other words,
They stay hidden, and when the door is open, they use the confusion to blend in with the group. They pretend they showed up along with everyone else, and that's that. That sounds like that could have been possible, maybe.
it's true.
And then the fourth and final type is when it wasn't actually a locked room at all. Not a locked room.
In other words,
By that I mean, there is actually an alternative escape room somewhere within the room. You see this a lot in novels and things, but its reality is it's generally not possible. Then you think we can cross that one off too?
indeed.
I believe so, yes. So when it comes to locked room mystery, those are the basics. So there are 4 possibilities. Then, Kyoko, which of the 4 choices seems the most likely in
It's
this
true.
case? That's a good question. After answering that should be our primary focus during this trial. But right now, I can't really say. I see it. The way the killer set up the locked room, until I figure that out, the truth behind Sayaka's death will stay hidden. Or Sakura's death will stay hidden. It's definitely a tough mystery. I need to concentrate and investigate as much as I can. For Sakura, if nothing else. Bro, but like, didn't they say that there was a fucking, like, bro, like, in here, I swear, there was, that note last case said that, what's it called, that there was a hidden, like, there was a hole, huh? The locker's open, and on the inside, it's a handprint?
Why?
What's a handprint doing here? It looks like someone touched the inside of the locker, and it left a handprint in all the
It's true.
dust. And it looks quite fresh, too. I'd say someone was hiding here in the locker, and they left behind a little something extra. So then, maybe the killer hid in here until the room was open, don't you think? And during all the confusion, they popped out and joined the rest of the group?
Wrong.
Unfortunately, that's not a possibility. Huh? Why not? I mean, bro, no one came out.
Hey,
Think back. Before we opened the door, we looked inside the room, right? Yeah, it was already open, too. Oh, yeah, and the locker was already open at that point.
indeed.
So there's no way someone could have hidden in there until after we opened the door. Yeah, so then, what does this handprint mean? Locker handprint has been added to the truth bullet section. This looks like Some kind of rapper. Ah, that's... Do you recognize it, Hina? Well, yeah, I mean, I gave it to her. That's a candy wrapper. Sakura got super upset when she found out Genocide Jack had attacked me, right? So after we left the nurse's office, I gave it to her. I thought it might help her calm down a little. So you gave that candy to Sakura. I found a big box of it in the warehouse. I really like them. Actually, as soon as we get into the warehouse, I took the entire box into my room. I made sure no one else could get their hands on them. You really like them that much? But I wanted Sakura to get a chance to try one for herself. That's why I gave it to her. But now, they've lost all their flavor. Hina, polka dot candy wrapper has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. What's broken back here? There are shards of glass scattered all around the chair Sakura was sitting on. The glass is all red, and there are the top and the bottom sections of a bottle, right? So this must have originally been a bottle. Glass shards on the floor has been added to the truth bullets. Huh? There's something else on the ground made of glass. It's a figure. It fits in the palm of my hands. It's a Monokuma figure. Figure on the floor has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. I mean, here's the fucking... There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. Oh, well, there's the P's. There are 4 red bottles lined up on the shelf. And inside each bottle, there's some kind of Monokuma figure. What I'm wondering is, how do they get those figures inside the bottle?
So...
It's no different from your standard ship in a bottle, huh? You know, where the bottle's opening is smaller than the belt placed inside? You've never seen that? Oh yeah, maybe I have.
In other words...
So this is the Monokuma version of that. A Monokuma bottle, if you will. Monokuma bottle has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. I feel like I'm finally starting to make sense of things little by little. The Monokuma bottle sitting on the shelf. The Monokuma figure we found on the ground. The red shards of glass, which probably started out as the bottle, which could mean that Sakura must have been hit in the head with the Monokuma bottle, right? The shards of glass and the Monokuma figure are evidence of that, so I think it's safe to say that the Monokuma bottle was the weapon. There's a bloodstand in front of the magazine shelf. It must have come from Sakura, right? But that doesn't make sense. Why is it so far away from when she died? Magazine shelf bloodstain has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. The same shelf full of magazines. There's all different kinds of magazines here. It's around 1 o'clock right now. According to the Monokuma file, Sakura died around 12 p.m. noon, so roughly an hour ago. Is that when Kyoko and I were moving alter ego?
What the heck?
We already know who did it. Byakuya took her a hero. It had to be one of them. They couldn't stand the sight of her. You agree with me, don't you, Makoto? Well, I don't want to say anything for sure without finding out more. Then let me help you find out more. You see, Sakura asked all 3 of them to meet with her. You know where? Right here in the rec room. What? After I went to the nurse's office this morning, Sakura and I both left together, right? Well, eventually she went off on her own. But when I saw her again after that, she told me. After she left a note for each of them. She asked them to meet her in the rec room by noon. By noon, the Monokuma file said she died right after them. I'm telling you the truth. I heard it from Sakura herself, and I tried to stop her, but she wouldn't listen. She said not to worry, that she just wanted to talk to them. And this is what happened. If I'd stopped her by force even, this never would have happened. Hina, it's impossible not to have regrets, I know. Ao's account has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. But the fact that she asked those 3 to meet with her, and she asked them to come to the rec room at noon, the same time and place she ended up dying, it might be good to confirm what I just heard with 3 of them directly. Okay. Is there anything left on this side? No. Oh wait, I need to check her body recipients. Sakura drew her last breath sitting slumped forward in this chair. There's obvious evidence of the blow to the head Sakura suffered. Normally I wouldn't have any problem believing that's what would have killed her, but according to the Monokuma file, she also had vomited blood. And I can see a trace of blood on her lips for sure. So, what would have caused her to vomit? The Monokuma file specifically said she hadn't suffered any other injuries. Status of Sakura's body had been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Maybe her getting hit on the head somehow caused her to start vomiting blood? Not a chance. Byakuya.
That's fine.
However, your eyes have landed on the most interesting location. Interesting?
Naturally.
Yes. Most interesting, don't you agree? No, I don't think I'd call it interesting. But it does make me wonder, the reason Sakura vomited blood absolutely has to be connected to the way that she died. Did you poison her, Al? I will talk to Kyoko in a second. I want to get all of this shit that's on the ground first. There's some kind of plastic container rolling around near the entrance to the room.
So
It looks like a protein drink, and it's empty. Sakura must have drank it. Everyone knows how much she loved her protein, and she mentioned more than once how good protein was for all sorts of ailments.
wrong.
I wouldn't take that to heart if I were you. I know. But still, this protein can. It's got a label on it that says Chem A2. That reminds me, Sakura mentioned how the Chem Lab had all kinds of health stuff, so she must have gotten this from the Chem Lab.
Just a second.
But that's strange. Huh? What is?
Hey,
You see what's scattered all around the can? Shards of light blue glass. They must be parts of the window I broke to get inside.
correct.
But they aren't just scattered around the can, they're also underneath it. Why does that
So
matter? I can't say for sure yet, but you're probably going to want to take note of it. I feel like it'll become an important clue later on. An important clue? I'm not sure I see how. Empty protein drink has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Check the fucking the chair. What's the chair? The chair was shoved up against the doorknob, so we couldn't get the door open. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the chair. In other words, there's no reason to think the chair had anything special done to it. What you gotta say, Kyoko? But for Sakura to have been killed, yeah, she's not the type who would have gone down without a fight.
It's true.
And she certainly didn't, I would say. She was the ultimate martial artist, strong in body, mind, and spirit. So how was the killer able to get the upper hand on her? I wonder, did someone get the upper hand on her? They must have taken her by surprise, right?
Certainly.
Certainly. They would have needed to if they expected to stand any chance against her. What's up, Byakuya? What do you want? You're bothering me. There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Make it quick. Is it true that Sakura asked you to meet her in the rec room? So you found out. Interesting. Then it's true. I did receive a note to that effect, yes. But what fool would do what it said and risk being killed by that monster? So you didn't go see her? Of course not. I ripped the note to shreds and threw it away. I haven't seen Sakura today at all. Byakuya says he didn't go see her. Is that the truth? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact.
Come on.
If you're all finished, please remove yourself from my presence. I think that's what it said. Okay, thanks. Byakuya's account has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Is that it? I guess that's it for right now, honestly. It's sounding like she got poisoned right now. This door is the only way in or out of the rec room door. The door doesn't have a lock and there's no evidence that the mounting's been tampered with. The only notable change to the door is the smashed window, which happened of course when I broke in to get inside. There's no evidence that any kind of string or mechanism was used on the door. In other words, I don't see anything suspicious about the door itself. Having examined both the door and the chair, there's no doubt the reason the door didn't open was simply because the chair was shoved up against it. The chair was shoved up against it. This kept the doorknob from turning and the door from opening. And there was no evidence of the door or chair being tampered with or anything like that. So the killer must have created the lock from inside, not the outside. Rec room door has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook.
Listen.
Well, Makoto, have you finished with your journal investigation? Yeah, I think so, for the most part.
So then
Then you should probably go talk with people now. I'm on guard duty, so I can't
listen to
visit.
me.
Which is why I've decided you'll go in my place. She's decided. She's gotten a lot more pushy since we had our issue. But she's right, I do have to go talk to the others. Sakura wanted to meet with 2 other people. I need to hear what they have to say. This door... Wait. Am I just supposed to bounce? Okay. Those other 2 people probably went back to their rooms. Those other 2 people are... Toko and Yashihiro. Which... don't really make sense. I pressed the door... Like, it's not Toko, bro. So what, Yashihiro? I doubt, dude. I swear, it weirdly seems like Al. I pressed the doorbell. And after a few seconds...
Who's there?
The most negative aura I've ever felt. An aura of total decay.
What do you want?
So you're back to normal. Genocide Jack isn't around anymore.
Don't even say her name. It makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a good mood too.
She didn't look like she was in a good mood.
I was hoping to talk to you about something. Is now a bad time?
Obviously annoyed, Toko slithered out into the hall.
What do you want?
You said you wanted to talk to me about something. I wanted to talk about the fact that Sakura had asked to meet with you.
Well,
I don't know what you're talking about. Byakuya already told me that she had asked to meet with him. What? She wanted to meet with Master too? I just said too, didn't I? I guess now it's totally obvious, huh? Yeah, pretty much. So can you tell me more about it? I admit, I did get the note, but I didn't go see her. I was scared, so I couldn't bring myself to go. Toko claims she didn't go see her, but can I really believe her? Well, until I can prove otherwise, I have no choice but to accept it as fact. Is that good enough? Then I'm going back to my room. And with that, Toko quickly retreated into her room. Toko's account had been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Okay, Yashahiro. Oh. I pressed the doorbell. And after a few seconds...
You know?
What's up, Makoto? Did you need something? Yeah, actually, I just wanted to check something. It's about how Sakura wanted to meet with you. How'd you know about that?
Could it be?
Did you maybe gaze into my soul? Have your special abilities awakened in you? But I'm not the only one she wanted to meet with. Ogre told me herself that she asked Byakuya and Toko to come too. What? When did Sakura tell you that? Well, when she asked me to meet with her, of course. But she didn't write you a note. Yeah, a note. She gave it to me in person, and she happened to mention the others, like, in passing. I gotta be honest, this is super suspicious. So you went and met with Sakura. No way! I totally didn't. Why would I ever do that? Yeah, definitely suspicious.
Actually,
the last time I saw Ogre was when Hina got hurt and I took her to the nurse's office. I haven't seen her since then. While I'm here, could you show me the note she gave you? Do I still have it? Let's see. Hiro was feeling around in his pockets.
hey, come on.
Sorry. Looks like I don't have it anymore. With a big goofy smile on his face, he pulled his hands back out of his pockets. But when he did, I saw something flutter to the ground. Something had fallen out of Hiro's pockets. Huh? Quick as the wind, Hiro snatched it back up again and shoved it back in his pocket.
Hey, come on.
Sorry, just a bit of trash I forgot to throw out. Trash? Anyway, I can't deny that Ogre asked to meet with me, but I never went. So, well, if you'll excuse me... Bro, why was the same candy just on the fucking ground? Before waiting for a reply, Hiro quickly slipped back into his room. Hiro said that was just trash, but there's no way that's all there was to it. Pocket trash has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. So, I've heard from Toko and Hiro. What next? I'll definitely have to look at the actual crime scene again, but on top of that, maybe I should find out more about the protein can we found in the floor in the rec room. I'm sure it must have come from the chem lab. So where do I start? Well, let's go to the chem lab. On the rec. This is the rec room. We're in the 4th floor now. Let's just TP over there to the motherfucking chem lab to go see what's happening. It's seeming like she got poisoned. There was poison here. Oh my fucking god, there's shit all over the ground. Makoto, did you have your eye on the chem lab too? Just make sure you don't get in my way. Yeah, I got it. I think what you meant to say was, yes sir, I understand. I was gonna say, don't say that shit. So, obviously, this is very much a thing on the ground. This isn't my first time seeing the shelf, but I just can't get over how big it is. I should probably take a closer look at it. It looks like 3 shelves have been connected together to make one giant shelf. What more important right now, what's that powder that's been spilled in front of the shelf? I have to be careful not to step in it. This is poison again. There's a broken bottle in front of the shelf. Is this where all the powder came from? It looks like the bottle had a label on it. Chem C4. Holy shit. Would you like to hear something interesting? I was on the 4th floor this morning checking things out, and at that point, this room wasn't like this. Then this powder must have been spilled.
So in other words,
That's right. It could have only been around the time of the incident. If that really is what happened, it must be related to the case somehow. Source of the powder has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Let's look at these real quick. Let's see, what was on this shelf? There are all kinds of dietary supplements and different medicines. The protein drink we found in the rec room probably came from this shelf. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter A and a number. So I guess I can't consider this part of the shelving unit section A. Huh? But wait, there's one bottle here labeled Chem C9. Could someone have put it here on accident? So on this shelf looks like a bunch of chemicals that I have no idea what they are. They're reagents. Put simply, they're used in experiments to bring about a chemical reaction. Have you lived in such ignorance for so long? It must truly be bliss. Isn't that kind of harsh? What? You think studying science and mathematics has no practical application in the real world? The words of a lifelong loser, which I suppose suits you well. I didn't even say that. He's a fucking prick, dude. Anyway, that doesn't matter right now. I need to focus on the shelf. All the letters on this shelf are labeled with the letter B and a number. So I guess I consider this part of the shelving unit section B. Don't see anything out of the ordinary here. In which case, I don't think I have to worry too much about this shelf. What about shelf number C? On this shelf is one look and I can tell it's nothing but dangerous chemicals. This looks like poisons and other powerful chemicals. All the containers on this shelf are labeled with the letter C and a number. So I guess I consider this part of the shelving unit section C. I should try to find out more about this shelving unit. It looks like it's split into 3 sections. Section A has dietary supplements, Section B has reagents, and Section C has lethal chemicals. Sakura must have gotten protein powder from Section A, but what concerns me is in Section A there was a bottle with the label from Section C. What was the bottle of poison from Section C doing in Section A? There's definitely something going on here. Chem Lab shelf has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. I mean, not to mention the powder itself. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor. I better not leave a footprint like this motherfucker did. These are footprints, and they're only in front of the left shelf. How do these footprints relate to the scene as a whole? You may need to sketch out the floor plan. By we, do you mean me? How kind of you to offer. With an insufferable smirk, he handed me a piece of paper and a pen. Well, let's go. Chop chop. Okay. Bruh, I don't like how Makoto be getting bitched around right now. So I got to work, and before long, I drew on a sketch of the room. So, how's this? Not bad for you, I mean. For me? So when you look at it like this, interesting. It would appear that whoever left these footprints only had business at the leftmost shelf. They came in, went straight to the left, went straight to that shelf, did whatever they had to do, then left. That's what the footprints tell me.
I see.
These footprints must be
Certainly
Makoto.
possible.
Are they yours? No.
What?
Okay, then let me see your shoes, and I'll confirm their size for myself. I couldn't think of a reason not to, so I quietly did what Byakuya said. I see. Your feet do appear to be too big. Unfortunately, I must admit these are not your footprints. Unfortunately? But with how clear these footprints are, it should be quite easy to determine who they do belong to. Then these footprints are a very valuable clue. Should probably take a good, hard look at that powder. There's a bunch of yellow powder scattered on the floor in front of the shelf. There's also the remains of a broken bottle. It looks like the bottle was labeled Chem C4, and it also looks like someone left footprints in the powder. Based on the positioning on the prints, whoever it was only went to the left side of the shelf. According to Byakuya, the powder would have only had to have been spilled right around the time of the incident. That's all I can tell for now. Footprints in the powder have been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. I've already taken a good look at the chem lab. Maybe I should take another look at the rec room. Okay, let's go over there then. Fuck.
Hey.
So Makoto, how's your investigation going? I told Kyoko what Toko and Hiro had told me. I see. So along with Byakuya, they're both claiming they didn't go see her. But it's all too convenient. Someone must be lying. Someone's lying?
Anyway.
Well, I've made progress of my own. Sakura's body, the shelf on the shelf of magazines, and the Monokuma bottles. These three things have revealed clues. You do well to look over them one more time. According to Kyoko, there's still something to be discovered from Sakura's body.
Just a second.
Just staring off into space isn't going to help you figure out anything. Well, yeah, I know, but...
Hey.
Don't you think you might need to actually examine the body?
Whew.
There's no getting around it. Unlike me, Kyoko didn't recoil at the thought of touching a dead body. She was completely unemotional. It's the kind of thing I've grown perversely used to. Although, there are still some times... I can't believe how calm you are. No matter how many times I see a dead body, I can't get used to it.
It's true.
That's totally normal. Then, how can you?
So...
I imagine it's because I've had plenty of opportunities to touch dead bodies in the past. What? Sorry, never mind.
Hey.
More importantly, look here. Oh! Her shoes?
Correct.
You see that yellow powder on her instep? Yeah, it really stands out.
I see.
The powder is clue number 1. Yellow powder has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
Hey.
Next is the wound to her head. Look carefully.
It's true.
Actually, even telling you that, it's incredibly difficult to spot, so let me just explain.
It
It would appear that she didn't suffer a single blow, but instead received 2 blows to the head. 2 blows?
Indeed.
Interesting, wouldn't you say? And there's one more interesting thing.
Correct.
Both of her hands were spotless. There's absolutely no trace of blood on either one.
It's true.
So that's what I learned from examining her body in detail. Kyoko's examination summary has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook. I can't believe she was able to learn all that just by looking at her body. I don't think anyone but Kyoko could have pulled that off. So she said the magazine rack and the fucking Monokuma bottles. I think Kyoko said she found a new clue involving the Monokuma bottles. Something new.
Hey.
How there's places. There's one missing. Because I kind of noticed that too on the first time, but I didn't really like say anything. But yeah, there's definitely like another one missing besides the one that's on the floor. So, did you figure it out? There's a hidden correlation between all the bottles. Pay attention and you're sure to find it. A correlation? Hey Kyoko, can't you just tell me what it is? I don't mind guiding you toward clues, but giving you my conclusion isn't a good idea. Each person needs to come to their own conclusion so that everyone can have confidence in the outcome. It's not just because you don't trust me, right? No answer? I do trust you, to a degree. Otherwise, I wouldn't have told you anything to begin with. Only to a degree. Monokuma bottle has been added to the Truth Bullet section of your handbook.
Hey.
Actually, there's one other thing about the Monokuma bottles that's bothering me. I'd like to do an experiment to confirm it. You don't mind helping me, right? An experiment?
Anyway.
Can you gather up all the pieces of the broken Monokuma bottle? Try to get the smaller pieces too. Huh? Are you sure it's okay to mess with the crime scene like that?
That doesn't matter.
I've already done a thorough investigation, so it's fine. And that obnoxious Byakuya is not here, so...
then.
Anyway, I need to get something from the chem lab. While I'm gone, try to gather up all the glass. And with that, Kyoko left the room. I really don't want to know what this is about, but what choice do I have? I'd better just do it. I took the broom and dustpan and got to work and collected all the broken bottle pieces. And just as I finished up, sorry to keep you waiting.
So then.
Is everything ready? Then let's get to work. So, what kind of experiment are we doing?
In other words.
I got a scale from the chem lab. We're gonna use it to compare weights. To compare the weights of what? The pieces of glass you collected in one of the Monokuma bottles that's still intact. Why do you want to do that? That's the point of the experiment. It'll make sense when we're done.
Listen.
First, let's compare the weight of 2 of the normal Monokuma bottles. It's balanced,
In other words.
which means each Monokuma bottle weighs about the same. which makes sense. The Monokuma figures inside are basically the same, and nothing else could really affect the
So
weight.
then,
Now, here comes the most important part. Put all the pieces you picked up on one side of the scale. Now, what might we expect to see? Well, a normal assumption would be either they'll balance out or the pieces I collected will be lighter. I did my best to get them all, but there's a chance I could have missed some here and
so
there.
then,
Okay then, let's give it a try. Oh, it's way heavier. Huh? The broken pieces are heavier? How is that possible?
I knew it.
Just as I thought. What?
In other words,
The result of our experiment and the correlation between each of the bottles put it all together, and I believe you will arrive at very one persuasive conclusion. So, what do you think? It's all on you. Monokuma bottle experiment has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Check the magazine rack. Kyoko said the magazine shelf was hiding a clue of some kind. Clue. Huh? This magazine is upside down. Did someone put it back that way on accident?
hey,
If something catches your eye, it's important for you to explore that in detail, don't you think? Yeah, you're right. I picked up the inverted magazine and flipped through it. Oh, what the fuck? This is one of those pages. Near the center of the magazine, a word had been written in bold, bloody letters, and it said Togo. Could this be a dying message?
Correct.
Then it would appear you found it. Kyoko, is this...
so...
It is indeed a dying message. Someone used their finger to write it. A dying message?
However,
But just to be clear, I'm not the one who put it back upside down. It was already like that when I found it a little while ago. I made sure to put it back exactly as I found it for the benefit of others who might come looking. Hey, is that says Toko, right? Yeah, it looks like it. Then she's the killer, right? Well, it hasn't been confirmed yet. It's settled. She's the killer for sure. That's conclusive evidence, right? We can use it to corner the killer. I can see why you would think that, but it just seems too easy. If anything, it makes me that much more suspicious. Yeah, me too. That is way too fucking easy. Magazine dying message has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Oh boy.
Whoops, you caught me sleeping. Your investigation was just so boring I couldn't stay awake. Should I do it? Is it okay? Can I? Okay, then let's begin the class trial. You know where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school.
Boy, oh boy.
See you soon.
It's already that time, but the mystery of the locked room is still only half solved. At this point, whatever happens will have to happen at the class trial. No, not whatever happens. I have to make something happen. Oh boy, and we're at that time again. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this off here. I know that we've been having hour and fucking hour and a half, hour and 45-minute long videos or whatever. But I don't know how long this class trial is gonna take, and I don't really want it to be like a super hyper condensed video just because I really wasn't trying to do a class trial today, to be totally honest. And I just honestly don't have the time to right now. But the class trial will be here on Friday. I will get back to this as soon as I possibly can. But in the meantime, I appreciate you for watching. I appreciate you all for watching. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day, night, whatever time it is. Like, subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out. And just thank you all for watching. That's all I have to say. Have a good one. Bye.